One of the things that comes to mind reading this gospel is an expression that I've heard before. I don't know where it comes from. I've just heard it when I was a missionary. Comparison is a thief of joy. I think a lot of times we're very tempted to compare ourselves to others. When God provides for us, He provides us what we need. And I think sometimes we don't appreciate what we are given. And if see somebody is given something else, we tend to feel like all of a sudden what we have is devalued on a very earthly level, in an earthly way. That's, I think, something that we can often fall into, whether it be physical possessions or something not physical. Somebody has better grades than you. Somebody has higher pay than you or more followers than you. I don't know. You can see where I'm going with that. But when we do that, we tend to, devalue what we have. And I think that by doing that, it is kind of an insult to God, saying that you didn't give me enough. But I do think that there is a deeper truth that we can draw from that, rather than a greater desire for these earthly goods. I think when you lean into that dissatisfaction a little bit, what you should ultimately find is a greater desire for God. Not the gifts itself, but God Himself. And I think that's one of the keys to kind of overcome that feeling. Then I think there's also the spiritual side of this. There can be a tendency for people of faith, especially if you've been practicing your faith for a while, to see somebody convert a little bit later in life, have a jealousy, or act like these other workers who started earlier in the day and be like, why are they getting the same that I get, right? They didn't do the hard work. They were out, enjoying their day. I don't know what you want to say, but they didn't come till later. Why do they get such a huge gift? And I think that's just us getting caught up in this idea of justice versus mercy, right? We should be happy for both. The workers agreed to work for the pay that they got for the day. And so that was just. No wrong was done. Like the person who hired them to work, nothing was wrong. It's like, this is what you agreed to. This is what your labor was worth, and I paid you it. But I was merciful to these others, and we should be happy for that. Also, as we should be happy for those who convert later in life. To shout out Catholic Twitter, for example, Shia LaBeouf recently converted. I thought it was kind of strange, the reactions that some people gave. It was kind of like bitter, like, yeah, we'll see what happens kind of thing, rather than rejoicing that somebody had found God and found faith and converted, followed through. He went through RCIA. He was recently confirmed. At the very least, he received communion, first communion. We should rejoice in that. And I saw a lot of people who were reacting in very, very strange ways. But in those situations, I think, I'm not saying that, I've never had instances where I was skeptical of certain things like that, or taking issue with, something somebody said in the past or done in the past. But so I'm not exempting myself from that kind of attitude, because, like I said, we all fall into these mentalities every now and then. But what I'm trying to say is, do we truly rejoice for others in their conversion, rather than compare what they have versus ours, or what that person has to that person, regardless of their state in life? Rather than focus on the gifts themselves, do we take the time to focus on the gift giver? If we truly think that all things are given to us by God, do we praise God for His goodness? Because even people who are far away from Him, God still provides for them. Whether they believe in God or not, there's some people who very well taken care of. And do we praise God for that? And I think even me, there's a tendency not to, right? So I think, to keep it simple, I think I'm just going to take time to just reflect on the gifts that I have, what God has given me, and really pray thanksgiving for those things. And then also take time to praise God for what He's provided for others. And I think it's just a small way to kind of overcome this temptation to compare ourselves and others, and just really praise God for his providence. So I'll leave that there. As usual, if you enjoy these, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when these go out. They go out every Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, both on YouTube and Instagram. And then if you have any thoughts, comments of your own that you'd like to share, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. And then lastly, if you think this will help bless somebody's day, go ahead and share the video with them. And it does help the channel grow and to also help spread God's blessing. On that note, thank you for listening. Hope you have a good and blessed Sunday. God bless.